Hey, this is Notser, and this is a rant. I'm sorry. Strong language. Wargaming, what the fuck? What is your problem? Why do you keep consistently nerfing the Japanese destroyer line? Why do you feel like, man, they're just too good? We've got to lower their damage. Because that one game where they did 300,000 and they killed everyone, oh man, that's going to influence our entire balance choices. When at the same time, and the reason I'm talking about this is because at the same time, we have a Soviet destroyer at tier 10 that everyone hates fighting, is still a god with 4, 5, 6, 7% higher win rate than any other destroyer at its tier. It's just allowed to exist for whatever dumb reason. What's the deal? What is the fucking deal, Wargaming? I mean, like, really? I'm just so frustrated. On screen is the Shiratsuyu. They took away the torpedo reload. You have to choose between smoke and torpedoes, and this is the write-up they do for the Shiratsuyu. The Shiratsuyu had an excellent mix of smoke, good concealment, and the ability to launch 16 torpedoes in a short stretch of time, which made the ship excessively strong at tier 7. You know what ship is fucking excessively strong at tier 7? The fucking Belfast. We moved the torpedo reload booster to the same slot as the smoke generator to address this bullshit. This was done, in part, to the response to the season, the rank season, because we saw an uptick in this particular ship being played. Let's face it, there's not a lot of Shiratsuyus being played. There is a hell of a lot of battleships being played, though, and this is one of the few ships that could actually be effective against that frickin' jackass of a ship, the Belfast. It was one of the worst rank seasons I've ever experienced. The one we're currently on is great. Do you know why it's great? Because I don't have to deal with something that has smoke, hydroacoustic, and fucking radar. That's something I really enjoy. So, on top of these changes, they took away the 10-kilometer range torpedoes from the Khabarovsk. They only allow you to use 6 kilometers. And do you know what all the Khabarovsk commanders did when they saw that? They said, oh, that's unfortunate. I guess I'm still going to be able to do 250,000 damage every fucking game, and everyone's going to hate me because it's so easy for me. Yeah. That's a hilarious nerf to a ship that barely used torpedoes previously and now probably never will. And still do 250,000 damage. Everyone will hate trying to kill it because they can't. Oh yeah, it's the Japanese destroyers. Those are the real threat. Okay, if I die in smoke to a single rogue torpedo, that feels way worse than dying slowly 3, 4, 5 minutes into the game. Oh yeah, I feel great, Wargaming. Yeah, good job. I'm just beyond frustrated by this. I feel like the Japanese destroyers are being picked on. I feel like the balance of the game is very obvious to me. Yet don't allow a ship to remain at 57% win rate for 10 fucking patches. You don't allow premium ships to remain as powerful as they are. And you don't, in the first place, give them hydro, smoke, and fucking radar. What do you expect us to do? I expect you to just slog it out. This is what I hope the game will eventually get to, Wargaming. I eventually want you to make the counters, and this was sold as a counter game, so strong that the only way you can deal with it is to have a teammate that counters them. That's what I would really like, Wargaming. I would really like it if I didn't die in 2 or 3 salvos to a battleship as a destroyer. I would really like it if my cruiser could absolutely wipe the floor with a destroyer. You seem to really enjoy the idea that battleships can one-shot cruisers. Why not allow the other 2 classes the opportunity to use their strengths to their advantage? I'm just beyond frustrated, Wargaming. And it feels like you, for whatever reason, it could be many different things, for whatever reason, you always consistently lean towards balancing the game incorrectly. You're not making the game better with your balance, unfortunately. You're making it worse. You're making players be more passive. You're making players sit in more smoke, rely on a radar, hydroacoustic, really extremely strong ships, and what you should have been doing is you should have said to yourself, I trust my own design. Way back when the Shimakaze was spamming the ever-living crap out of Ocean with 15 torpedoes going 20 kilometers, you should have said to yourself, well, we know we're going to give hydroacoustic to the Germans. We know vigilance is an effective solution to it. We know target acquisition is going to be effective. You didn't just wake up one day and say, you know what, let's give hydro to the Germans. That's a stupid thing. If you did, you shouldn't admit to it at least. You need to bring back the counter. What is the counter to smoke? What is the counter to passive play? Stationary targets? It's torpedoes. It always has been. It always will be. You want to move them out of their smoke, and you want to force them to be mobile. Let's do it, Wargaming. Let's have a real talk. This game is becoming more and more passive every day, and it is killing any enthusiasm by most players. I can't think of a single person that says, man, I really like waiting 15 minutes before combat starts. It's just not fun. And you are taking away one of the critical tools to this, outranging radar, so torpedoes can move them out of their damn smoke. Beyond the fact that the Belfast is so incredibly broken that it is laughable it's even in the game, especially from a utility standpoint. Who fucking thought hydro, radar, and smoke on the same thing, without having to choose, was a good fucking idea? So, I apologize for this. Yeah, it probably was a little whiny, but I really enjoy this game. I want it to succeed. And I don't know that these changes are the right course of action. In fact, I know homogenizing ships is a bad idea. I lived through the dark ages of World of Warcraft. I've lived through the dark ages of many different games where they just homogenized the solutions too much. I know you're desperate to give people something new and fresh. I understand that. But don't sacrifice the game to do that. Put a little bit more time in it and figure something out. Okay? I love your game. I want it to excel, but I don't want to see the Japanese destroyers nerfed into oblivion, the Soviet destroyers basically allowed to exist at their power level, and for me to just sit there and go, no, it's completely reasonable. What's reasonable about that? Let's do it the right way, Wargaming. I appreciate everyone listening to this. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.